if you broke, you're fucking stupid, according to this guy.
If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Turns out you're fucking stupid. Couldn't have said it better. There's a lot of people in this world who have convinced themselves that they are actually smart. And then they also sit there and wonder, damn, why do I not have the life that I want? Why do I not have the job that I want? Why am I not doing the things that I want in my life? Even though I'm just oh so smart. Turns out you're fucking stupid. Because if you were smart, you would have figured out how to be able to live the life that you wanted. You would have been able to figure out how to get the job that you want or just work the job that you want, whatever it is, whether it's self-employed or, working up the corporate ladder, whatever it may be. You got to be smart to be able to do those things. Which leads me to my next point, where for all of this time, I think the majority of our perception on people being smart is just completely off. Because we see successful people and we're like, oh, they're so dumb, but they make it work. And it's no, they're not dumb. They're smart. And they just do things in their own way and they're creative. The other people, on the other hand, stupid.
I mean, I don't. I don't agree with that. And again, it's not this guy is actually MIT Technology Review, whichever I guess as a newspaper for MIT. But it turns out that if you agree with that, then you are the fucking stupid. Because think about it. Then what that's saying is vast majority of the planet is stupid because there is more poverty in the world than rich people. Like, so you're telling me that everyone in Cuba, well, most people in Cuba that are born in poverty are fucking stupid because they're not rich? You're telling me American strugglings, American citizens who struggle, they are stupid because they're not fucking rich? Remember, when you are born into poverty or in a third world country, you have no say into that. Like, that's not in your power to decide. You don't have decision over that. So just agreeing to that, well, you're not rich, you fucking stupid. That's I would say that's a stupid argument. Like, there are very smart teachers. It's pretty hard for a teacher to become rich. So you're telling me teachers are fucking stupid? I mean, I could say a few of them, but vast majority of teachers are not fucking stupid. On the contrary, they are fucking smart. So I would say if you believe that, you are fucking stupid. And whoever wrote that, well, if they're not stupid, they are borderline. Because if it was that easy to be rich, it wouldn't be called the top 1%. I wonder if the people at MIT that actually wrote that review are rich. Because according to your own article, if you're not, then you're fucking stupid. How about that?
The surest way to stay broke is to spend all the money you make, okay? Look, I'm here at the car wash. I pay monthly for a subscription for an unlimited car wash because I like to wash my car obsessively. I have an obsession with washing my car. Anyways, a couple times I've posted videos here and people will be like, well, don't you make a lot of money? Aren't you rich? Why don't you just have somebody detail the car yourself? And it's first of all, no, I'm not rich. I'm very, very far from being rich. And second of all, it's I do work for myself. And if there's one thing I've learned about working for yourself, it's you gotta recycle the money. You can't spend it all on frivolous things, okay? Yes, I'm able to afford nicer things nowadays, but I still have to budget and keep money for the business to keep going. So I was just gonna say to everybody out there, make sure that you're not spending all the money you make because then you're never gonna be able to get to the next level of finances.
That's true. I agree with that. That is a good point. Yes, the best one of the best ways to not be broke is to not spend all the money that you make. The problem most people have today is that they live way above their means, and then they are in massive credit card debt because they are trying to follow that social media, everybody's rich mentality. Like, everybody is flexing on social media, but most people that you see flexing on social media are they have a lot of credit card debt. That's a good advice. And yes, if you work for yourself, you need to recycle money. You need to know that when you get money in, anybody that works for themselves, first, you need to set money aside to pay your taxes, and then set money aside to fund your business, meaning recycle, because you have to fund your business. If you don't fund your business to keep making money, then your business is gonna die, and then what happens? Then you're out of business. Yes, so don't live above your means. Don't spend everything that you make. And if you work for yourself, remember, anybody that's self-employed or owns a business, remember you are on commission because we work on commission. Set your money aside. Don't spend it all. So far, so good.
Guess who's paying the car note? You, nobody else. See how I have an out?
As somebody who works for a luxury car brand, I'm a sales consultant, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't try to go broke trying to impress people. I've been driving Mercedes-Benz for 8 years, bro, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it is just a car. Yes, it's nice, it's cool, not gonna lie. But when you drive that car enough, you realize that it's just transportation to get to point A to point B. So the lady in that video, she said, get the car you want. She bought a Alfa Romeo because it's cool, and Hondas, Acuras, Lexus, and Toyotas are not good cars because they're not as cool, and plus they cost a lot of money. It's furthest thing from the truth. If I were
So Hondas and Toyotas, they cost a lot of money versus a Mercedes and Alfa Romeo. Which one costs more money? A Honda or a Mercedes? I'm confused there. And also, I don't understand why people have the need to, oh, I want to be driving a brand new car. It makes no sense. That's why most people live paycheck to paycheck. The number one, the number one cause of people living paycheck to paycheck is the car note. Number one. I don't understand that.
were to drive something different than a Mercedes or an Audi or a BMW or a Porsche, I would happily drive a Lexus. I would happily drive an Acura. I would happily drive a Toyota.
A Honda.
Easily. Or Honda.
Yes,
They're great
Honda.
cars. Extremely reliable. They hold value very well. Alfa Romeos are really cool cars. They look good. They're really quick cars, but they're very unreliable.
Exactly.
Same with Maseratis. They tank in value. People get them and then they be pissed off because they cost a fortune to maintain. The only way I would tell you to go into a luxury automobile like a Mercedes, a BMW, and so forth is if you can afford it. And if you cannot, trust me, those other options are just as good. For what it's worth, a car is just transportation. Put your money into some investments. Have a nice place to lay your head at night. Unless you make a nice amount of money, cars are nothing but a depreciating asset.
And to piggyback on his point is, if you can buy a car cash, you cannot afford that car. You can't afford that car, sadly. I mean, that's my opinion. You might think different, but in my opinion, if you cannot pay for a car cash, in reality, you cannot afford that car. So you should not get it because you're gonna be tight. More than likely, you're gonna be living paycheck to paycheck just to afford that car. Can somebody drop in the comments and let me know what is the need to drive a late model car? I don't understand that. I have a Honda, 2013 Honda. I bought it cash, and I can buy any car I want cash, but that's the car I like, and that's the car that I drive. I don't want any car payments. A man without car payments is a man at peace, because that's one less bill you have to worry about. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments.
I know you want a nice car, honey, but you know what? We're broke. Broke people don't buy $45,000 Honda SUVs. We're broke. And you know how I know we're broke? Because we don't have any money. That's how I know we're broke. Well, we make a lot of money. Yeah, but it's all gone. Have you not noticed? We don't have any money. We don't have any money. We don't have any money. No, we're not going out to eat. Why? We're broke. We don't have any money. You're not in freaking Congress. You can't just print it in the basement. You have to live on less than you make, and you have to have a plan, and you have to be intentional. I meet people that make $30,000 a year that save money. I meet people that make $130,000 a year couldn't save money if they had to. It hasn't got anything to do with the income. It's got to do with you freaking controlling the person in your mirror. It's you deciding, I'm going to be a grown-up. I'm going to be an adult. And that's if you're 52, you're 22, or you're 12. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Everybody's all worried about everybody's feelings these days. I'm not worried about your feelings. I make a living hurting your feelings. I don't give a crap about your feelings. Listen, let me tell you what feels good. Not having any dadgum payments, that's what feels good.
Yeah.
Having a pile of money in the bank, that feels good. Being wealthy enough to take your eyes off yourself and not be so dad blame self-centered and actually be generous.
That feels very good. Preach. Listen to my man over here.
Where there's some room, some margin in your budget, and you can give money to somebody else that's hurting. That feels good. But no, we live on the junk food of finance. And financially, we've got an obese culture that's lost its mind. And so you guys, you have to be weird. Normal is broke.
That's a good analogy. We have a obese culture when it comes to consuming. I believe most Americans, they buy too much shit that they don't need just because they want to spend money, which also I don't understand. Like, but yeah, most people spend too much money. That's a great advice. And hey, it's human nature. We all want to spend. We just need to control that. We just need to control it, because when it comes down to it, if you get into a bad situation and you don't have any money to solve it, like what's the average? It's like 85% of 60% of Americans don't have $5,000 in their savings account for an emergency. If you have an emergency, what are you gonna do? Sell all that bullshit that you bought? You're not gonna get the same money that you pay for it, and it's gonna take a while to get rid of all that bullshit. So why not just tag your money? That's just my opinion. Let's move on to the next one. Now, what qualifies you as broke? Well, according to these guys, this qualifies you as broke.
You're already broke. What the fuck is your $2,000 gonna do? And I hate to sound like an asshole, but if you have $2,000, you're broke. If you have $5,000, you're broke.
So according to him, if you have $5,000, you're broke. I mean, $5,000 is, I would say, it's not the same as it was about 10 years ago. But I mean, it could solve a few problems. Like if your light is out, you can pay your light bill. You can feed your family for a while. You can pay a few bills. I guess it depends. Like if you're in your 20s and you have $5,000, it gives you some cushion. But if you have a family, $5,000 is not gonna do much for more than 30 days. I do agree, $2,000. If you only have $2,000 in your account, you are broke. I mean, not broke. I would say you are living paycheck to paycheck, more than likely. But it's just the world right now. It's called inflation. So just put your hustle hat on and get to work. Like he said, invest in yourself and do the best you can, right? Now this one is funny because the caption is right, but what he's doing is totally opposite to what the caption says. But it is a good point though.
Old school shit. Yeah. Money talking like that, my baby. Seeing these brand new faces, say shootouts in different places. Shotters talk overrated. That money money come different phrases. Yeah, yeah. Heard these niggas want some smoke.
I mean, he's not acting broke. He is not broke from what he's showing. He's flexing. But again, remember what I said. Most people in social media, not most people, everyone is rich in social media. But the caption, that's what it is. Act broke. Not even. Just don't go broke trying to look rich. Don't spend all your money on bullshit. Don't spend all your money trying on name brands trying to look rich and you got no money to show for. Something happens, you're struggling, asking people for help, but then you got all these name brands, Gucci, da 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 da, Louis Vuitton, Red Bottoms, Fendi, all that bullshit. That at the end of the day, who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress? Getting in debt, stress all the time to pay credit cards and shit, to can afford your bills. For what? Impressing who? That's a bad way to live. That's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress, which I don't want.
My uncle about money.
Stop imitating the lifestyles of people who have less financial security than you do. Some of the very people that we are imitating, some of the very people we're trying to impress, they have no financial security. Let me tell you this. I'm not here to tell nobody's business. I'm not giving no names on nobody. But I have sat there in the meetings. I see this. And the very people who you would think show the image of total wealth and total just exceptional financial, gain. These people look like they're making a lot of money. They do make a lot of money. They spend the same amount of money. They're broke. They're broke. We got to change our mindset to stop imitating those people if we want to create financial freedom for ourselves. And the way that we do that is we have to look at our expenses. What expenses can we reduce as much as possible so that at the end of the month, the difference between what we spend and what we bring in, so the difference between those two is as wide as possible.
That's true. That's true. And to the point I made before, don't go broke trying to look rich to impress other people. Don't go by social media. Again, everyone on social media is rich and 99% are living on credit card debt. Track your expenses like my man said. Track what you're spending. Don't live beyond your means because that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress. I don't know why anybody would like to put themselves in that situation. I just don't understand that. I understand it's human nature, but we can control that. You can control that. So why don't you start controlling that? Start controlling that. Don't worry about what other people are wearing, what they think about you. Like, are they paying your bills? Unless they're giving you money for something every month. I don't give a fuck about what they think. It's not relevant at all. It's not relevant. Keep it moving. Stack your money. That's all you need to worry about.
The reason why you're not where you want to be in life is because you're lazy, you make excuses, and you don't do the necessary work to get you closer to your goals. You buy these get rich quick schemes and wonder why you're not where you want to be, and you make other people rich instead of actually investing in yourself, doing the work, and figuring it out. I didn't become successful by just sitting and waiting for it to happen. I made mistakes, I did the work, I hustled, I invested in myself, and that's how I became successful. It's not about mindset. People will try to tell you that you have to have the right mindset, and yeah, that's maybe some of it, but it doesn't matter if you have the right mindset and you're not doing the work. Get to work and figure out what it is you need to do, who you need to hire, books you need to read to be successful. Nobody's going to do it for you. You need to do it.
I mean, I guess looking like her and having some great tits would help, but I'm just joking. But she does have a point. For example, this generation, Gen Zers, don't want to work. They want easy money. And they have this thing about, work-life balance, which doesn't exist. If you want to have a average life, then work-life balance will work. But if you want to be rich, work-life balance doesn't exist. But to her point, yeah, I would say, yeah, most people are lazy and make excuses, and also blame other people for their lack of financial freedom. Oh, I didn't do this because they treated me like this, or they didn't treat me right. They are too entitled, and too lazy. But that's this generation. Well, that's actually since millennials to Gen Zers. So I guess that will mean most people, right? But then again, how hard is it to get a side hustle and make money? Nowadays, it's very easy. You can open a YouTube channel. You can start a marketing agency. You can start an online business, e-commerce, drop shipping. There are a lot of ways. So I would say laziness do play a factor, but also fear of failure and fear of going broke. Isn't that ironic? So the fear of going broke will keep you being broke because you are afraid of investing in yourself to get ahead. Ooh, wow, that's a deep one. Now let's listen to some advice on how to actually be broke, or maybe act broke so you can save some money. Either or. Let's see what she says.
With all the layoffs happening and the economy totally bleh, and all the things, some of y'all clearly don't know how to be broke, so here are some helpful tips. As someone who grew up poor and knows how to be broke professionally, this is my advice. And some of you are going to watch this and be like, duh, and this isn't for you. This is for the people who grew up fine, I guess, I don't know, and really don't know how to make things work, okay? Tip number one is to freeze literally everything. Cut it in half and freeze it. Cut it in half and freeze it.
Hey, that's a good advice. Cut it in half and freeze it. If you buy a lot of steak that you're not gonna eat it before it expires, you cut it in half and freeze it. Because steak is not cheap. We all know that. Especially if you chop at Whole Foods and places like Trader Joe's. Cut it in half and freeze it.
This includes bread, this includes meats, this includes veggies, everything. Everything pretty much can be frozen with a few exceptions. Do not freeze dairy, please.
Oh shit, I didn't know you could freeze bread. Is that a thing? Does that work? I haven't tried it.
And can be used. So before it goes bad, even before, like when you come home from the grocery store, if you're going to the grocery store, cut it in half, put it in the freezer. Once you've eaten yourself out of fridge, house, and home, that's when you go to your freezer and you take that stuff out. Look at there, a whole new game plan. Two.
Hey, that's great advice. I like that one. I'm gonna write it down and put it into practice.
Befriend other broke people. I mean this in two ways. One, stop hanging out with people who make you spend money because you don't got any. And two, go and be friends or community members in community, I should say, with others because it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Join your Buy Nothing group and ask for things and elect yourself to get things. Join any mutual aid efforts. You should have been, by the way, if you had a job and are well off, you should have been doing this shit before, but it's okay. I'll forgive you. We'll move on. Barter. Do the things that you need to do in relationship with others so that they get something and you get something. If your friend is baking like loaves of bread and you are, I don't know, have some skill of some sort, like maybe you're a great copywriter, tell them you'll revise their resume in exchange for some bread. Literally, we are resorting to olden times bartering because that's the world we live in now. Sign up for every loyalty program ever, create a new email address for it so that you don't get them going into your regular email, and use those friggin' points and signups. You do not buy something unless you have a coupon, a point, something. Broke part 2 for all you baby brokes out there. I'm Sam again. I'm an old poor, and yeah, I know how to save some money, so here's how to do that better. I'm not speaking to all of you, especially my fellow old poors, or people who grew up poor, but you know, maybe there's a tip or two you haven't heard before. If not, you know, add yours in the comments. It's time to do a deep clean and sell some shit. Some of you are going to be like, I don't have anything to sell. Everything's blah, blah. No, you have stuff to sell, and you have stuff that people want, and people will pay for it. Clothes and shoes, do Poshmark. Anything random, do Mercari. Take clothes if you want a quick buck to Buffalo Exchange or Crossroads. You won't get as much if you do like Poshmark individual, but I understand why that's tedious. So, you know, do you. If you haven't used it in like 6 months to a year, get rid of it. With some exceptions, but they should be very few and rare exceptions. There's also Facebook Marketplace. I don't know, have a garage sale. There's a bunch of ways to sell things to make money, and yeah, take a Saturday and do it. Give you a little bit of a nest egg, or at least like some grocery money, so there you go. You are not too old to babysit, you are not too old to tutor, you are not too old to do random jobs. In fact, you don't even have to be paid money for these things. If you have friends who have kids, give them a night out for, I don't know, something that you need. And again, this isn't new, and this is what we should be doing like all the time. It's called being a good community member, but you know, rock bottom is a good reminder. Hide your money. I don't mean all your money, and I don't mean like depression level.
Hide your money. That way you won't spend it.
Like put money in books or whatever. Although I guess you could do that. Sure. What I really mean is open a high yield savings account, never look at it, never do anything with it, and maybe every 6 months take a gander, and just throw money that you get randomly into there. And this should be an account that's like hard to get into, hard to transfer from, and just throw literally like $5, $10, $15. If you're broke and you can't do that, totally fine, but still open an account with that has no minimum and just throw what you can throughout the year. Tell your friends you're broke. This is a biggie. I don't know why people don't do this, but like, you don't have money. So tell people you don't have money.
That's another good way. That's a great way. You tell everybody that, you know, hey, I'm broke. I don't have any money. That's something I implemented for a while in my early 30s. I would tell everyone I was broke and I had no money. It saved me from lending a lot of people money. Hey, we went from taking advice from people from the internet on how not to be broke, and we ended on this note with this lady telling us how to either be broke or act broke so you can get ahead in life, which is good. In conclusion, again, don't stop living above your means. Stop living above your means. That means stop spending more than what you earn. Please, you don't need that late model car. If you cannot afford it, you don't need it. Buy a hoopty. It'll take you, as long as it runs, just make sure it runs fine. It'll take you from point A to point B. It'll take you to where you need to go. Stop getting in debt just to impress other people. Because in the end, you are the one that's going to be stuck with that bill and with that stress. And stress is a motherfucker. It's going to, I don't want to say that, but you know stress will get you out of the game. So why would you do that to yourself? Don't do that. Be safe. Be blessed. Drop it in the comments if you like the video. If you don't like the video, also let me know if you want more content like this or you want any other type of content. Please like and share the video. Subscribe to support the channel. Watch my other videos. They're going to be up here. And have a blessed and exclusive day. Peace.